Kim from Kim Can't Stop Crafting. I'm a design team member for Country Craft Creations, and I wanted to do a walkthrough of my recent project that I made with the Simple Stories collection called Farmhouse Garden. I'm actually going to show you my prototype and talk to you a little bit about the mistakes that were made and then how I made some changes to make the album like I wanted it to be. So I just thought I'd show you the couple sheets from the paper collection. Like I said, this was Farmhouse Garden, and it was great for the project, which is kind of like it is a junk journal, but it's not one of those real junky ones with tons of stuff in it, because I do want to be able to write in it. So I had shown a sneak peek of this, and then I finished the book and I realized that it would not work, that there's too many mistakes. So this is just a real little book. Let me get it. And my intention was just to have it be real small, kind of like a traveler's notebook, and the tag cover is 3.5, and it was about 7 inches tall. And it is I'm calling it a tag junk journal, but the cover is 3 tags combined. And then because some people may not like to sew in their signatures, I decided to do the rings. So those rings are these Tim Holtz ones, you know. I don't even know if you can get them anymore. And it would have probably been okay if I would have made my cover bigger. But when you use these rings, I cut my papers and they stick way far out. And I don't really like them sticking out that far. But if I trimmed them, they would be way too thin and they wouldn't be very useful. So I punched holes in all this stuff, and now I'm like, I don't like it. So also, when I combined the tags, I used ribbon, which I like the looks of, but it made it really thick and hard to keep closed. And I didn't put a magnet to keep it closed. I just was using this tie. I love the front cover, and I may have to just cut that off and use that because and take out my ephemera, but I just don't like the way it's too skinny, and this sticks out too far. So learning from my mistakes, then I redid it and I made this one, which is way better with less mistakes. So you'll see that it's more like a true junk journal. So now the width of the book is 5 1/4, and it is 8 inches tall. It has a 2-inch bind. What do you call it? I keep wanting to say binding, spine. And you can see here that I have it's like a it's like a traveler's notebook with the cords or the strings inside to hold the books together, the signatures. So this is an antique photo that I have, but the paper on here is the vintage farmhouse, or vintage Farmhouse Garden. I used some of the gold flakes. I used some of the gold flakes on the butterfly. I had these flowers in my stash. I have a little wood piece here, some trim, a metal heart, some flowers. This is the cut apart. This isn't the cut apart. This is like those foam stickers. The seam binding. So you'll notice now that I did the book without the ribbon or the lace on the side, and it lays much flatter, but I did include a magnet to keep this side closed. So this flips up so you can write or put pictures in it. Just added a paper doily and some of the ephemera. Just added 2 places for pictures. So let me untie it. And then on this side, I just added something from the ephemera kit. This is a real vintage photo. Just added a cut apart here. And so my purpose for doing that is so that you could stand it up like so and display it. Okay, so it's kind of got like a tri cover, but it closed real nice. You have to do the seam binding closure, but I'm happy with how this turned out on the side. It's not so bulky. All right, so what I did then was I made 3 signatures with the paper collection, and I didn't sew my papers together because I like to add and take away. So I decorated the cover. I had these Simple Story frames from another collection, and so they matched really well, so I used those. This is just a printed vintage picture. That's not a real old one. Okay, let me apologize first of all. I helped my son move this past weekend, and look at how embarrassing. So I apologize that my hands look gross. So anyway, I decorated the papers. I did not decorate the tea dyed or coffee dyed paper because I want to write and add pictures. I just added a page from a book, from an old hymnal. This is an envelope that I just decorated so I can put cards in here from the collection. Another page from that book. And see, this is how the book is connected. It's got the elastics on the inside. And so I just tuck everything underneath the elastics. This is the other side of the envelope. And all of my signatures pretty much follow the same. And there's the back of that page. I am planning on adding more lace on the edges, but I'll do that as I write and decorate and add pictures to it. I don't want to add it ahead of time because then sometimes it gets in the way of a certain page. But then my second page here, I just used one of those frames. These are the Tim Holtz little people. This is from the ephemera. I do have a light thin piece of trim up top and one of the foam sticker butterflies. So that's what that looks like. And then I just put a pocket and made a tag. Here is some coffee dyed paper that Tammy helped me with. And then again, just kind of the same layout. That was the envelope, the other parts on the other side. This is from a book, hymnal. And then again, the elastic. That's the middle one. That's where it's tied. But then I think it's easy to take the papers in and out and add to it, take away. If you make a mistake, whatever. And I don't really like sewing signatures, I'm not going to lie. It's not my thing. And then here's the back cover. I just added some lace on top of the paper and just made a little tag with the paper collection. There is some lace on the edge here. Just glued a little bit of the hymnal down here with one of the ephemera pieces. Again, these frames are from a vintage collection from Simple Stories. Use some of the paper as background and then use the people, the Tim Holtz people inside of there. Some of the seam binding. On the other side, I just have a tag. There's that envelope that I can add things in. And so it's not real huge and bulky right now, but that'll change as I write in it. Then just added a little pocket on the side here, and then there's the back, and then I have a pocket here because I want to cut up this page and put all of those in that back pocket. Okay, so then you just tie it closed with the seam binding. Whoops. What am I doing wrong here? Okay, but it stands really nice, and like I said, that looks good because it closes, so you can't decorate a whole lot on those inside tags just because it'll get too bulky. But you can display the tags, like I said, and have it more of a coffee table type book if you want. But it has a nice presentation, I think. And so I will do a tutorial. It's pretty quick now that I worked out the kinks and got rid of my mistakes. I still like this cover, and I'll probably still try and fix it and do something. I'm just so mad that I punched holes in these because I could have used some of this stuff. Like this, I have some really, where'd it go? Like, this is a real old boarding pass. I wish I wouldn't have punched holes in it. This is an old card, a playing card. Again, wish I wouldn't have punched a hole in that. But I mean, I can still use it. Oh, this is old. Cabin number 193C, second class, Fred Olson lines. An old inventory tag. So yeah, being it's for me, I guess I can live with it, but the closure, when you tie it, the papers get in the way. And like I said, there was no magnet here, so I like the cover. But so anyway, I will be doing a tutorial for this one, the one where the mistakes have been fixed, and it would look good in any paper, really. This just the vintage farmhouse was great with the old vintage pictures that I had. So all right, so I will work on the tutorial and hopefully get that up by the end of the week. So thanks for watching, and this paper can be found at Country Craft Creations. Thanks.